We are going to start with our mat class. So let's go to our mat and find a comfortable position to do our breathing in. I think I'm going to start with my usual seated, going ahead to wrap my arms around my knees, give them a big hug, let my head just sort of hang down, and let my shoulders and my head and my neck and all the muscles around my upper body and jawline just sort of take a big, deep exhale and relax. Now you can do this position, or you can find yourself on your back or your side, or even laying in your shell stretch, but just start beginning to breathe in through your nose and exhale out through your mouth. And just find yourself purposely drawing the air in through your nose, and with a gentle effort blowing the air out through your mouth and your lips. Begin to breathe through the sides and the back of your rib cage so that your breath feels three-dimensional as your lungs open up out to the back and sides of your body, and they draw in towards the center of your torso. Start directing your attention to the inside. What's feeling good? What could feel a little bit better by the end of today? And as you get yourself warmed up from the inside out, you begin to feel your pelvic floor lifting with each exhale, that area between your pubic bone and your belly button, your internal zipper. And remember, with each exhale throughout the workout, feel yourself lifting those muscles. Quite honestly, they're the muscles that help control going to the bathroom. And use your breath to activate those deep, deep pelvic floor muscles, low back stabilizers. And after your last exhale, go ahead and roll down to your mat. Find yourself now here in neutral spine, heavy tailbone position. Begin with yourself in a nice neutral level pelvis. Use your abdominal muscles. Slide your ribs to your hips to imprint and release back out to neutral. And just feel yourself rocking through your low back and pelvis. Try not to press your back down, but to slide your rib cages down towards your hip bones, closing off this space, and then releasing back out to neutral. And just let your eyes gently gaze up at the ceiling or close them as you increase your focus, using your inhales and exhales. Time your breath to help facilitate the movement. Couple more here. Perfect. And then go ahead from here, staying in your neutral position, slide your right heel out. Let your toes fall open to the side, bend your knee, and slide your heel around. We're going to do our hip release here. Move at your own pace. Take it slow or speed it up a little bit if you feel like you want to, but make sure you're staying in contact with the floor and not trying to hold that foot or leg tensioned up in the air, and then change directions. And slowly let yourself slide your shoulder blades down your chest while pull your shoulders down from your ears by reaching through your fingertips along the mat. And after this last one, meet up in the middle and change legs. And circle, use your breath, inhales and exhales. Couple more here, just slide along the floor, keeping your foot in contact with the ground, and then reverse it. Inhale, exhale. Hold your hips nice and level and even here. Good. Keep that rib cage now melted to the floor, and let's do one more. Open that hip up and slide your heel back in. You'll roll to your side now. Go ahead and stack up your hips, knees, and ankles on the floor. And then look up to your hand. Twist to rotate. Get a nice big stretch across your chest. If you want to, you can stay here for another full breath cycle, or move on to reach to the ceiling and circle your way around. Good. Keep those hips nice and stacked up. Rotate to open. Inhale, reach. And exhale to come around. And again. Use your abs to bring your ribs around one more time. Keep this active. Use your breath. Think about rotating. Inhale. And come around. Very good. Use your breath. Rotate to open. Wrap those ribs around your spine. Reach to the ceiling. Come around. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach. And exhale. Use your abs to come around. And then we're going to come up onto our hands and knees on the floor here. You want to bring your hands right up under your shoulders with your elbows slightly bent. Your knees are directly up under your hips. Your abs are supported. So gravity is going to want to pull down right around your belly button area, and you want to stay a little bit lifted here. And from here, you're going to curl your toes up underneath you if you can. Round your low back. Mid-back, drop your head and look through your thighs. And then starting from your sit bones, send your sits out behind you, straighten out your back, and bring your head up on your spine. And again, round it out. Pull your belly button deep into the center of your stomach, and then lengthen to the top of a table. Great. Now check your eye line. When you're in the cat pose, you want to be looking through your thighs. You want to really feel yourself pulling up through the center of your stomach, and you should get a stretch right across your belt line. When you go into your cow, lengthen, draw your shoulder blades in towards your spine, and bring your head up just so your eyes are right in front of your fingertips. If your head is lifted real high up here in front of your mat, you're going to put a lot of tension into your neck, so tuck your chin and bring your eye line down, and then round it out for your cat, and lengthen it for your cow, and round, and lengthen, and round, and lengthen. Couple more. Feel yourself lengthening the back of your body. Shoulder blades come apart. And then lengthen up to the top of the table. Squeeze those blades together. Last time. Very good. Now let's stay in our cow position with this nice tabletop back here. And go ahead from here and alternate straight leg lifts behind you. Nice and long and strong. So don't worry about height so much as length out along the line of your leg. And reach to stretch. And reach. Good. And then set that knee right back down underneath the same side hip. Good. Very little movement should be happening from your belly button up. Your hips stay square to the floor so you're not twisting. And reach, draw it in. Couple more on each side. Last one. Perfect. All right, let's stay here for one more. I want you to take your foot up into the air and little kicks. 2, 3, footprints, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You bring it in, one more time, bring it up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Change sides. Little footprints. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just draw it in. Don't set it down. Come right back up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And bring it down. And then we are going to roll over onto our backs here. Line up your feet with your hips and your knees so we have two parallel lines. Find your neutral spine. Very good. And then from here, I want you to go ahead and imprint your low back to the mat and peel yourself up off the floor. So you have two parallel lines through your legs. You have a diagonal coming from your shoulders out through your knees. Your weight sits on your shoulder blades, not on your head or your neck. You're going to take an inhale at the top and slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time. Take your time. Make sure you touch down segment by segment, vertebrae by vertebrae. Roll through your imprint and release out to neutral. Set your hands at the side of your body. Reach through your fingertips to pull your shoulders down from your ears and start again. We exhale to peel and lift. Inhale at the top. Exhale your way back down. Find your neutral, grab an inhale, and exhale, peel yourself up again. Good, take your time. Find those sticky spots in your spine. And when you're peeling up, vertebrae by vertebrae. And when you're rolling down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Feel yourself purposely trying to touch down one at a time, not skipping chunks, but moving piece by piece. And again, inhale, exhale to lift. Inhale, exhale to lower. So this is definitely a go at your own pace. As you warm up, you may find that you can move through your spine a little bit more easily and move a little bit more quickly. But if you're still feeling that there's parts that are a little bit stuck, take your time and try and touch down one piece at a time. Very good. So I'm going to grab my foam roller and lay on top of it. If you have one, great. If you don't, that's perfectly fine. You're just going to stay laying on your back here. And I'm going to put myself here from tail to head. Two legs straight out in front of you, parallel lines, just like you were laying on the floor. And let's reach our fingertips up to the ceiling here. So make sure that your legs are not like way far apart, you know, because that's a little bit of a cheat. We're going to work on some core stability being up here. Make sure that they're hip distance apart. Your heels are lined up with the sit bones and your hands are lined up with your shoulders. You're looking up at the ceiling or you've closed your eyes. And then scoop through your underarm and reach 2 inches higher to the ceiling through your fingertips. And then with the help of gravity, let your shoulder blades come down and in to wrap around the side of the foam. So you scoop to lift and draw your blades together. And you scoop and draw together. Now make sure that tailbone, your sacrum, is heavy on top of the foam roller or into the floor. You have a little bit of daylight in your low back here, so that you're nice and neutral, whether you're on the floor or on top of the foam roller. It is not so much that this effort is coming from the front of your neck and your chest. You really want to scoop to reach through the sides of your rib cage and right in your underarm area. Feel the effort from right under your underarms. And let's do 2 and 1. And then we'll do an arm scissor. We'll pulse, pulse, meet up in the middle, and then pulse, pulse, switch. So again, your eyes are straight up at the ceiling or you've closed them. You have your rib cage melted to the foam, so you should feel your entire mid-back, all those little tiny vertebrae attached to the foam. There's like a little pressure there, kind of a good, feel a little tender maybe even, but melt into the foam. You have a tiny bit of daylight in your low back, in your waistline, and you have your tailbone anchored. Feet are hip distance apart, and legs are 2 parallel lines. Let's do 1 more. And then go ahead and come up with your thumbs. Open around for a big wide stretch. You can even pause through this circle here, palms face up to the ceiling. As your knuckles come down to the floor, you circle your way around. So it's thumbs up, overhead. Only come as high as you can without popping up your ribs. Keep that mid-back melted to the foam. Open across your chest. Big chest stretch. Unwind all that forward posture we do all day long. And just circle through slowly. When you find that point in your circle that you feel a nice big pull across your stretch, just slow down. Put the brakes on a little bit and circle through it as slowly as you can. Let's do 1 more. Open up, circle through that stretch. It may feel a little tighter even on one arm versus the other, and then let's reverse. Palms are up to the ceiling. Thumbs come up. You come around to shoulders and pull down with the pinky side of your hand. Out and around, up, and pull down. Inhale it. Exhale to pull down. Last one here. And pull down. Beautiful. Now go ahead and set your fingertips on the floor, and we're going to alternate knee raises. So use your hands on the floor to stabilize yourself sitting on this foam roller. Don't let your posture change here. Nothing changes. Just because the knee comes up, don't allow yourself to flatten your low back into the foam. Stay neutral. Hips level and even. A couple more on each leg. Good. And then nod the chin down toward your chest. Eyes come back up. So your eyes should start right up on the horizon. You drop your eye line 2 inches. You lift it up. Good. You nod every time you're going to come up off the floor to initiate a movement to sit up. And you'll feel a lengthening happening right at the base of your head on your neck. And let's go 3, and 2, and 1. And then just carefully come up off your foam roller, and you can set that aside for now. We're going to go ahead and lay back down into neutral again and begin our workout. So you're going to go ahead, find yourself neutral, line your feet up, parallel lines, hip distance apart. Reach your fingertips along the line of your body, so now your hands are up off the floor. Think of like where you'd be if you were going to start the 100. You're going to nod and lift to reach, keeping some space in your low back here, and come on down. So your initiating movement happens by bringing your head nodded. You fold forward by using your rib to hip movement, but you're not completely flattening your low back to the floor. We're going to exhale to lift. Good. Look out between your knees and reach. Let's go. 3 and 2 and 1. And then go ahead, roll over to your stomach here. Stretch all the way out. Point those toes. Lots of energy through your legs here. So whenever we're doing any exercise here on our stomachs, there's 2 main pieces that you can always assume you're going to do. You're always going to try and press your hip bones into the floor to neutralize your low back. And you're always going to really stretch out your legs, point your toes, and get lots of energy through your thighs. We're going to set our hands wide on the mat and lift up off the mat. Push through the heels of your hands. Just come up to the bottom rib angle and come back down to hover. Inhale and exhale. Remember, hip bones to the floor. Your belly button is lifted because we're not letting gravity sag out our abdominals. And lots of energy out through your legs. Toes are pointed. Keep your head on your spine. So again, your eye line is still on your mat. If you're looking out in front of your mat, drop your chin down towards your chest and tuck it in. Good. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. And then push yourself back into your shell stretch. Bring your bottom to your heels. Fold over your thighs and reach your fingertips straight out in front of you. And really stretch through the length of your arms and the back of your body, pushing your weight into your heels. Draw your belly button deep into your waistline with each exhale. Couple more in and out. And then when you're done with your last inhale, exhale, let's roll back over to your back, and we're going to get ready to do your 100. So let's lay down on the floor here. Go ahead, find your neutral first, but then one leg at a time. Come up off the floor. As you imprint your spine, squeeze your inner thighs together. You can go head up, head down, knees in or knees out. Reach through your fingertips to pull your shoulders down away from your ears and to feel energy along the side of your body into your lats. We're going to come up and begin with in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 10, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 20, abs, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 30, inner thighs, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 40, big arms, and out, 2, 3, 4, 50, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and X, 2, 3, 4, 60, abs, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 70, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 80, abs, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 90, last 10, and out, 2, 3, 4, 100. Squeeze those knees in. Let your head rest down if it was up. Give yourself a little roll through your low back. We're going to set down one leg at a time. Walk ourselves up our legs. And we're going to come to seated, okay? But instead of being on our sit bones, we're going to be rounded. So just a little bit. These are sits. These are behind the sit bones. So we look like a C curve, okay? And so what you want to do is start with your nose between your knees, head is down between the knees, arms are straight out in front of you. We're going to roll back, look straight over your knees. You're going to rock forward, set up your arms, and go again. We roll, just the low back touches, we rock, we set and stabilize our arms, go right into the next one. It's a rock, forward, stabilize, roll it back, rock it forward, stabilize. Inhale, exhale, stabilize those arms. And let's go 3, 2. And last 1. Good. We're going to stretch ourselves out now and roll all the way down to the mat with our legs straight out. So you're going to go ahead here. Your toes are pointed up at the ceiling. Your legs are straight. You're going to take your arms straight over your head. And this is where you're going to really check in with this rib cage and your mid-back and how flexible you're feeling there. So when your hands come overhead here, they're only going to come as high as you can lift them before you feel like your rib cage either flares open or you're popping it, and now you have this big gap underneath you between the floor and your rib cage. So if you're good, 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 and then stop as high as you can raise your arms without losing that connection to the floor. You're going to reach through your fingertips to the ceiling. Nudge your chin and peel yourself up off the floor to reach out over your toes. Your belly button will draw in, your fingertips will reach long, and your eyes and face are looking down between your thighs and knees. You're just simply going to unravel to roll down one vertebrae at a time. Set your head down, and your hands come back overhead without popping or flaring your ribs. So we inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. And again, nod your chin, fold forward to reach, unravel, slowly roll your way back down. Hands overhead, inhale, reach to stretch, and inhale, and exhale to roll down. A couple more. Last time. And reach. And roll it down. And bring your head down. So let's take our hands behind our right knee here and come up to stretch. Let's give a few active stretches here to our right hamstring. Reach to stretch. So your knee is sitting right over your hip, and you're going to bend and stretch at the knee. Hold still from knee to hip. Each one gets an exhale for 3, 2, and 1. And then hold that straight leg and circle. And then reverse. Out and up for 4, 3, 2, and 1. You're going to set your foot down, slide it out, grab a hold of your opposite leg, left leg for me, and then go ahead and hold it still and reach to stretch. So the knee stays hovering over the hip, your thigh is still in space, and you're simply bending and stretching through your left knee. Good. Opposite leg is straight, toes pointed and stretched out on the floor. Let's go 3, 2, and 1, and then keeping it straight and strong, circle in and out. Try and get that knee as straight as you can. 2 more. Hold your hips level and even. Come on up and reverse for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then go ahead and set it down. Let's flip over to our stomachs. Stack your hands on top of each other and rest your head on your stacked hands. Your hips are open. okay, so that they're pointed out to the sides. And then you're going to bend your knees and bring your heels together and your toes are turned out. So from here, I want you to remember, press your hip bones to the floor, squeeze your heels together, engage your glutes, and hold it for 1, 2, 3, and then just release the squeeze at the heels and glutes, and then go again. And squeeze. 2, 3, release. And squeeze. 2, 3, release. So this is a great exercise. Keep going to activate your glutes. If you've been sitting a lot, or you're ready to go out and go for maybe a good long walk or a run, you want to get your glutes firing pre-run just to make sure that everybody's activated. This is a great starter to make sure that you're using the back side of your body and not just favoring the front. Good. Couple more. And squeeze. 2, 3. And squeeze. 2, 3. Great. Now stretch those legs up nice and straight and strong. Stay with your head rested on your forearms. And then lift a straight leg from the floor. Lots of energy. Through the leg, keep those hip bones pressed into the floor so you don't feel any tension in your low back. You're pinning the hips to the floor and lifting to reach. Good. Belly button's drawn in. Support those abs and reach. The whole leg is active, front and back. And reach. Couple more. Very good. Let yourself come to a hover. Keep your legs straight out. Lots of energy. Hip bones into the floor. Abs are lifted. Hands are out in a goalpost position. From here, just lift to hover and come back down. And lift to hover and come back down. So you come up to the rib angle and down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then again, for our second shell stretch of the day, go ahead and take your hips, push them back to your heels, fold over your thighs, pull your belly button in, and stretch your fingertips way far away to the opposite end of the mat. And from here, take some inhales and use some exhales. And take this as an opportunity, if you did create any tension in your low back with that series on our stomach just now, use this as your chance to stretch out across your low back. One more breath. Excellent. So let's go ahead and roll to our side and stretch out nice and long across the mat. We come to a straight line. So your head is resting, your ear is resting on your upper arm that's on the floor. Your eyes are straight out in front of you, and your top arm is bent to help stabilize you. So you can be stacked up in a straight line on your hip and feel like you're balanced. So from here, we're gonna point and flex. And so my goal here for you guys is see this area right here, from your ribs to your hip. When you go to lift your leg, I want you to make sure that that distance between rib and hip does not get scrunched up, okay? You're gonna stay stretched out here and lift and lower. And it may mean that you can't lift and lower quite so high, but that's okay. I'd rather you lift just a little bit less height from the floor, but avoid folding up right here like an accordion would fold. So point and flex, and point and flex. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Then we're going to go ahead, take that top leg, we're going to bring it forward for a 2 kick and point it back. Forward for a 2 and point it back. Take your time, use your top arm to help stabilize you. Point it back, kick, kick. Stay long, 2 more, and steady. Good. Bring that leg down. Take it in front of your bottom leg, and then lift your bottom leg. Toes are pulled up on the bottom leg. Inner thighs for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Let's change sides. Same thing, just switch on over to the opposite side. Stretch yourself out nice and long. Good, and again, let your ear rest on your upper arm of the bottom side. Top arm's here for stability. Legs are straight out from you. Again, we're gonna avoid shrinking in this rib to hip area now on the opposite side. So stay long through here as you point and flex. Good, and you'll notice I don't lift up my leg terribly high because if I go much higher than this, I'm gonna scrunch up right there. Point and flex. Good. Take your time. If you do find yourself, every once in a while, check in, eyes out in front of you, and make sure you're staying long through your torso because it might creep up on you. And let's go 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. Good. Now we're going to take this top leg, bring it up to about hip height, 2 forward, and 1 points back. Good. 2 up, and point to press it back. Stretch it. So you bring your hips forward, and you press it back, and forward, and point it back. Hold yourself, wrap up your waistline. Use your abs to help you stabilize. Point it back. Last 2. Point it back. 1 more. Point it back. Good. All right, so take your top leg, bring it out in front here, and then lift the bottom. Flex the toes up towards your nose and head. Good. And stay stacked at your hips. Keep this leg as wide open as you can and lift. 2, 3, 4. Rest your ear down. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Very good. Let's roll over to our stomachs. Stretch yourself out long. Hips are open, toes are pointed, lots of energy through the legs. Hip bones are pressed down into the floor. Take your hands just to the outside of the mat. And with a big inhale, come all the way up. Good. Comfortably into your low back and back down again. So we inhale to come up and exhale to lower down. Good. Be careful with your low back. If you have more, you can walk your hands in closer to you. If it's feeling like a lot in your low back, walk your hands out a little bit. But we're getting extension here. Inhale, exhale for 3 and 2 and 1, and come on back down again. Very good. Okay, let's stretch it out. Arms and legs straight out. All right, so your nose is hovering off the floor. You're reaching through the tips of your toes and your fingertips, and you're alternating arm and leg lift. Keeping those hip bones, that's our rule of thumb today, and really always, pressed into the floor as we switch opposite arm and leg. Abs are lifted, hip bones to the floor, lots of energy from your fingertips to the tips of your toe. Chin is tucked down and in, so you're looking at the floor. 2 more. Very good. Go ahead and push back into our final shell stretch of the day. And if you've been doing them with your knees right next to each other, maybe open up your knees a little bit. Push your tush back to your heels and let yourself fold forward over your thighs. If you've had your knees open in all of the previous shell stretches, bring your knees right next to each other. So mix it up a little bit and reach through your fingertips. You may even be able to get your forehead to the floor. Deep breaths in and out through your mouth and nose. Open up those rib cages, just like we started in the beginning. And let's do one more deep inhale and exhale. And then we are going to go ahead and come on back up. We're going to come around to our back. Line your feet up again into your parallel lines. And let yourself lay down into neutral spine. Heels are lined up with sit bones. Knees are straight out. Rest your hands at the side of your body. So this time, instead of rolling through our spine, we're not going to imprint. We're going to stay neutral, and we're simply going to lift. Weight goes up onto your shoulder blades, not onto your head or neck, and then set your hips down. And lift and set them down. So everybody comes up as one unit, and everybody sets down. So this is not articulation. That's what we did in the beginning when we were peeling up and down. This is a lift. We lift and lower. Good. 2 more. Great. Now stay lifted here and give me 10 little lifts, just little pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stay up and 10 more for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay up. Last round for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And set your hips back down. Very good. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Keep your left foot lined up with your left sit bone. Okay? And then lift and lower. So keep yourself wide through the right hip. Stay open. And pick yourself up with the left cheek and hip. 4 more. That's 4. And 3. Last 2. And 1. Set down your right foot. Line that heel up now with your right cheek and sit bone. Open up the left hip by crossing the left foot ankle over the right knee thigh and lower and lift. Use your abs and anchor your tailbone to the mat. 5 more. For 5, reach those fingertips down the length of your body. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And set your hips down and then unwind the opposite leg. Let's go ahead from here. Bring one leg up at a time. Imprint and crisscross at your ankles. So I want you to really go ahead and squeeze your inner thighs here together so that your knees are touching. Rest your hands along the side of your body and then pick up your knees and hips to the ceiling. Pick them up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Simply crisscross at the ankles the opposite way. Nothing else changes. Knees stay together. Pick them up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more. 9 and 10. Good. Keep yourself up here in your tabletop. Squeeze your inner thighs together. I want you to rotate your hips from the right to the center and to the left and the center. Notice your feet have to go with your hips and knees. So you only get to go as far as you can out to the side, that you can control your feet moving with you without finding yourself falling over. And rotate, center, squeeze your inner thighs, and rotate, center. One more here to the left, and center. Now let's add a rotate, a reach, a bend to center. Rotate, reach, bend, come to center. Beautiful. Your feet lead, you pull them in. We're imprinted this whole time. So there should be no arching, gapping, or tension in your low back. Abs, rotate, reach, pull them in, center, abs, reach, pull it in, center. Last time, rotate, reach, pull it in, center, rotate, reach, pull it in, and center. Good. Just grab your knees for a sec, give them a little hug to your chest. You can roll around on your back a little bit. What you're going to do from here is straighten out your legs into our leg scissors and come up with your head. And we're going to pulse, pulse. Give them a pull and pulse, pulse. Abs are imprinted. So we mixed up our ab series a little bit of each, a little hodgepodge. Last time, each leg, lots of energy. Good, bring those knees back in, set your head back down. Good, one leg at a time to the floor. Walk yourself up your legs. Sit back, straighten your legs out in front of you, and find your sit bones. So now we are up on our sits. If you have trouble finding your sit bones and sitting up straight, you can bend your knees a little bit, or you can stick a towel up under your tush. Perfect. So from here, mommy arms, you're sitting straight on a wall here, and we're gonna peel forward and reach. 2, 3, peel it up, chest comes up. You're up on a wall here, on your sit bones. Mommy arms, shoulders down, so you feel tension right here. When we peel to reach, pull your belly button in and take a nosedive. Stack it up. Get that chest bone straight up to the ceiling and peel to reach for 1, 2, 3. Stack it up. Set the blades down and reach. 2, 3. Stack it up. Chest comes up. Blades come down. 2 more. 2, 3. Drive through your belly button. Pull it in as you fold. 2, reach. 2, 3. Let's go right into our saw. So we come across, back pinky high. 2, 3. Mummies to the center. And 1, 2, 3. Chest to the ceiling. Set your arms to mummy height. And 1, 2, 3. Nose to knees as you saw. And come across. 2, 3. Up tall. Come across. 2, 3. Center it. Find your sits. And come across. Saw through those first 2 toes with your pinky. Good. And reach long. Fingertip to fingertip. Come on up. Last time. And reach. 2, 3. And come on up. Good. Let's go ahead from here and bring our feet out in front of us. Okay? So we are seated here. You're going to put your hands back behind you with a slight bend in your elbows. You're going to lift your chest up through your shoulders and pick up your bottom. You're going to touch and lift and touch and lift. Good. Just get it off the floor, set it down, and up and down for 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to flip around. We're going to do it sort of similar, other direction. Curl the toes. Okay? We're going to go ahead from here and pick up our knees. Touch, lift, touch. Elbow soft. Lift, touch, lift, touch. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And set it down. Very good. Let's go ahead from here. Go all the way down to your mat. Bend your right knee. Pull your right heel to your tush. Good. Make sure that your legs are in parallel lines. Stretch out the front of that right thigh. Try and elongate to get the right front hip crease into the floor. Pull your heel in towards your tush. Take a series of inhales and exhales here. And then obviously you could stay with that stretch longer, but for time purposes, we are going to switch sides. Pull the opposite heel in towards your tush. 2 parallel lines here. Try and let yourself melt into the floor. Press that hip crease to the floor. Pull your heel as close to your tush as you can get. Take a few more inhales and exhales here. Good. Slowly let it roll out. Press up into a seated position. Go ahead and send your legs straight out in front of you. Take your right foot, put it on the outside of your left knee. We're going to turn now towards the right. Right hand to mat. Left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Hand comes up like you're asking a question. And you press into that knee with your left elbow, twisting to the right. Stay up and tall. Keep your chest up. Don't shrink into this rotation. Stay lifted. Keep pushing out on that left elbow, right knee connection. Stay tall. And then slowly allow yourself to unwind. Work your way around. Send that right leg out. Switch sides. Left foot outside of right knee. Come up tall on your sit bones. Turn to the left. Left hand to floor. Right elbow. As you come around, try to avoid being kind of folded in your rib cage. Come up through your chest. Push this elbow of the lifted hand into the outside of your left knee, and you should feel a stretch across your left cheek. Take a few inhale, exhales here. Get that nice good stretch into your ribs and in particular across your cheek there. Stay up tall, chest is up. And let's count 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. And then to finish up, we're going to come to the center. You're going to bring the soles of your feet together and come up tall. Now you can either just stay here and hold here with your hands. You can put your hands on the outsides of your knees, or you can put your hands to the floor and try and fan your knees out to the side, keeping your soles of your feet connected. Good, you guys. Your chest is up. It's always a struggle for myself to not let myself sort of sink and melt in my rib cage and let things kind of collapse down on my lungs. So this cue to come up from your chest bone keeps you open without arching your back and allows full expansion of your lungs. And let's do 2 more mindful inhales and exhales here together. And that is our workout for today.